Hey friends, welcome to my channel. Even the birds outside are telling you, you are welcome. Have a seat, have a seat. How have you been? How's your week been? Happy Friday. I feel like my mind is all over the place, and let me tell you, when I tell you I am looking happy, but deep down I am stressed. Please believe me, I am so stressed, just because there's so much planning I'm doing. There's so much that needs my money, and I'm just like, where is all this money coming from? But they always say when you get more money you want more money, so I don't know if these money problems ever end. Other than that, I am doing well. I have had such a lovely week. I don't think I've had any like major highlight. It's been raining a lot. I've just been trying to stay warm and yeah, make sure I stay safe and sound. Now, from the title of the video, as usual, you kind of know what this video is gonna be all about. I have been working here since the day I moved here. Okay, not really since the day, but like a month after I moved here, and it's been an interesting journey. It's been a learning curve in a way. I had worked obviously before, but then I had worked in Kenya, which is a totally different place. So, and I was younger, obviously. Now working and I'm older, I guess I'm more aware. And then the fact that I'm alone, I'm just like, yep, bills have to be paid. There's no one who's gonna help you. You're literally on your own. So anyway, it sort of like made me reflect on some of the things. Like I've picked some of the things I've gotten to understand, some of the things I have seen different in the workforce compared to obviously where I'm from. And yeah, I thought this would be a good video to talk about, especially, of course, like, you know, this whole channel is all about like informing and educating anyone who's planning to move abroad, anyone who's thinking of living abroad, anyone who's thinking of sometimes even moving back home. Who knows? I don't know if anyone has been helped, but yeah. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing I've realized is the different work roles that are very much pronounced here. Now, these work roles exist, I think, worldwide, but I have come to realize how much, should I say value, or I'm not so sure the right word to use, but these words are used to sort of like put you in a category in terms of work. So obviously, are you working full-time? Are you working as a casual worker? Are you working part-time? Are you working part-time permanent, or part-time casual, I think? all those roles. And under these different roles, there's actually like pay you're entitled to. So like as a casual worker, you get to earn slightly more sometimes than someone who's working part-time, just because they could fire you at any time, and you need to sort of like cushion yourself a bit once you're let go. So it's there's usually like what you earn and then a loading rate on top. So if it's like 20% loading rate, it means it's gonna be 20% of what you've been told you're gonna earn, which is pretty interesting, because I'm not so sure if it's all third world countries, but casual workers usually earn quite less, and it's usually like they could fire you at any time. They don't care whether you're gonna be cushioned. Them, as long as you've done what they hired you for and your whatever is done, that's it. So it's very different, and something at least I appreciate, because that's actually how I started. I started as a casual worker in a few of the roles that I started working at. So it's sort of like helps you plan, but you can't really plan for the future, if you know what I mean, if you're like a casual worker. Of course, full-time is just full-time. You're earning this amount of salary, and part-time again is part-time. Part-time, you can work like 2 days a week, you can work 3 days a week, you can work 4 days a week. Like the flexibility I have seen, I never knew someone could work like 2 or 3 days a week. Tied to that is the fact that you have to work more than one job to survive. I'm not even kidding. Let me move closer. Like if you want to survive, if you want to live comfortably, you cannot rely on like your Monday to Friday job, because there's rent to pay, which is paid weekly. There's groceries you need. There's obviously you spoiling yourself. There's savings. There's lots. So for you to survive in this economy, you need more than one job, unless it's like a double income household where obviously your partner is working and you're working sort of thing, then that can work. But then if you're literally just surviving, you need at least more than one job. Now the catch here is because sometimes depending on the visa you're on, you're not allowed to work more than certain hours, especially as a student during like semester semester terms. It can be tough because you're like, how am I supposed to survive on this little money, and the holidays are not till December or November or whatever. So it can be tough, but it's not impossible. But if you want to comfortably survive, you need at least a 9 to 5 and another job, whether it's a weekend job, which of course is part-time, or a night shift job. I don't know. You just need something to survive, because the cost of living here, and I think this is something that makes, sorry, I am digressing a bit, but I think this is one of the things that makes people really sort of consider and think about whether they really want to live the abroad dream, because to be honest, you don't have time for yourself. And I think this is because, again, Africans, there's a way we are raised where it's like you sort of end up fearing poverty, so to speak. So there's no room for relaxing. Like you just want to work, feel like you have money to cushion yourself, especially in a foreign land where most times it's just you, or you and your partner, or you and your family. Like you can't really rely on your neighbors to bring you food every day, can you? Another realization I have made is that pay is calculated per hour. So when you sort of apply for a job, you get to see like the job description has maybe a pay rate per hour. So maybe it's like $20 per hour, $25 per hour. And sometimes you'll be told like this is how much you're earning per year, but then it's still calculated per hour. So even though it's like 9 to 5, which is like 7 hours, you know, like at the end of the day, this is roughly what I'm taking. You're not gonna be paid like at the end of the day. Some jobs pay weekly, some jobs pay fortnightly, which is very different, because from being used to a salary per month, these days I'm just like, I'm not earning this week, I'm earning next week. You should see me calculating. My god. But yeah, it makes sense, obviously, because like I said, the cost of living is different. The economy is just totally different as well. So pay is calculated differently, and of course you're paid differently. Now, I know people always say how job opportunities exist abroad. Like you just look for money to fly there, you will get the jobs. Truth is, yes, the jobs are there, but for you to stand a higher chance, sometimes some of these jobs require you to have a certification. Some of these jobs require you to have like experience from Australia, even though you're just like, where am I getting the experience? And I'm just calm, like, where am I getting this experience? So it's not as easy as people say it is to get a job. I was lucky that I was able to secure a job when I did, but like I've mentioned, I think in my previous videos, I know of people who literally struggled to secure jobs. And you know, these certifications that are required, you need to pay for them. They're not free. So you need a job to be able to pay for those certifications, and sometimes you're just not getting the job. So what I would encourage people is try as much as possible to put aside some savings just in case you need to do a few certifications before you get a job, so that at least by the time you're coming, you know, this money I've set aside is just for the primary certifications I need to be able to stand a higher chance of getting a job. Jobs that sometimes are looked down on in different places are not necessarily looked down on here. As long as you're earning your money in an honest way, no one cares what you do. You could be a cleaner, you could be a manager somewhere, but as long as you're earning your money in an honest way, no one really cares. Whether you decide to wear your makeup as a cleaner or whether, it doesn't matter, as long as you're able to survive, which is very different because the blue collar jobs are not really popular in like third world countries, and they earn obviously less compared to here. So it's a very interesting perspective, but yeah, it works. I mean, as long as you're working, as long as you're able to earn a good amount of money from that, no one really cares, to be honest. Now, the last one, and one I think I've come to appreciate the most, is diversity at places of work. Like every time I walk wherever, whether it's at in the city, whether it's at work, whether it's in church, wherever I am, I feel like I am so, like, I just feel nice when I see like a black person, a black woman, maybe in church doing videography, or in the city doing something, or at work, other than me obviously. And sometimes you like pass each other and you just say hi. You don't know them, but it's just, hi, how are you? Like, I don't know, I guess it's an African thing or a black thing. And sometimes you even like not even saying hi, but you just look at each other and smile. It's like, I see you, I see what you're doing for this, for our future kind of thing. Yeah, but I've come to appreciate diversity in such a huge way, like places where it's not just people of a specific race that are in that department or company. And I know this can go like sideways, especially sometimes when like you're hired for a position, for a diversity position, and you're like, did they hire me because they want diversity or because I am worthy of it? And I've had this thought before, by the way, but you know what, I've just decided, you know what, either way, diversity and I am worthy, that's all that matters. Alrighty, so that's it for today's video. I hope it helps someone. I hope if you're trying to figure out how to go around the job market other than just applying for jobs, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My DMs are always open, to be honest. I may take a little while to respond, but I will respond. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And as usual, I will see you in my next one. Bye.